potential?
No, you know, that's what the league decided to do. So, hey, it has to happen. You know, I mean, I don't see anything that I would do to try to challenge it or anything like that.
How does this affect your adjustments or your rotation now?
Well, I mean, obviously, Metta's done a terrific job for us this year, especially as of late. And so, I mean, it's a blow to us. But at the end of the day, you know, we just have to do what we have to do as a team. Whenever we've had guys injured or anything like that, other guys have to step up. And, you know, we'll probably start Ebanks, you know, in this spot and just kind of play from there.
Mike, you had the dialogue through the newspaper with Metta like in February. Can you talk about like his play since then?
He's been terrific. You know, like I said, what happened? He came into camp overweight. It just took him some time to get down to a very good playing weight, which is what he's at now. He's been there for a while, and it showed in his play on both ends of the floor. Not only has he shot the ball better, he's defended better. You could see some of his athleticism has come back. I mean, he could dunk the ball in traffic now. He could dunk the ball from a standstill underneath the rim, and all those things he had a little trouble doing when he came here in camp.
When you sent him when you put him out there with the second team, the idea was he was going to post up, right?
Yeah, well,
and then it seemed like he stopped posting up.
Well, because I wanted to play him with the second unit because the way he's playing now, that's how he played in 03 to 05 when I coached him. And I felt like even back then, it wasn't like he was a guy that relied on his quickness or his athleticism or anything like that. He was a big, strong guy with wide shoulders and long arms that had a great feel for the game of basketball. And you don't lose that with age. You know, he's still a big, strong guy with wide shoulders and long arms and has a great feel for the game of basketball. And I felt he could still post up and be a danger to post up. So I felt with the second unit we could play through him some. And it was just tough because he wasn't in the shape that he needed to be in order to play through him with the second unit. And so then I said, you know, I didn't like the direction that the team was going, so I felt, you know what, I'm going to put him back with the starters so there's a comfort level with that group because that group has been starting for a couple of years now. And so I threw him back with the starters and I figured out, and I said, you know what, I'll figure out what I'll do with the second unit.
Do you think the lack of conditioning was the reason he didn't post up?
Before?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
it looked like a natural for him.
The being out of shape, I mean, it hinders you in a lot of areas. I mean, you know, to be out of shape and be on the floor with top flight athletes is tough to do, and so it doesn't necessarily hinder you from posting up. You don't move the same, you don't react the same, and so when he's down there, it wasn't as fluid nor was it as effective, and so we didn't post him much, you know. And because I wasn't going to post him much nor play through him, I felt that he can go back with the first unit and play like how he did the last 2 years with the first unit because we weren't going to play through him. That's why more than anything else. But if he had come back in the shape that he is in now, we would have played through him a little bit more. We would have played through him a lot more with the second unit because that's who we would have been playing a lot of minutes with.
Knowing Metta as long as you have, where does he need to find that line where he's maintaining that physical play, but not letting situations like Sunday happen?
You just can't let the situation like Sunday happen again. I mean, I mean, he can either do stuff that's legally correct in the game or illegal, and I choose for him to do stuff that's legally correct. I don't know, and maybe I'm misunderstanding your question.
Well, I guess I was trying to understand, how does he remove himself from preventing situations like that from happening?
I mean, I think that's a situation you have to ask.
Yeah.
That's more you have to ask him. Because none of us want a situation like that to happen with him. So I don't know. I don't know how I would answer that.
Coach, you guys got the 3 seed wrapped up. Are you going to rest guys tomorrow? What about Kobe's scoring title chances?
We'll probably rest guys, but it won't just be saying. It won't be just me saying, "Hey, I'm going to sit you down." I mean, I give guys some ownership in this, and I'll talk to some guys. I'll talk to our trainer, Gary Beatty, to get a feel from him, and then between the 3 parties, we'll make a decision.
What about Kobe's scoring title? Do you feel like that's important to him to try to get there?
I mean, it's not necessarily important to me, but you have to ask him if it's important to him.
You haven't discussed it with him?
No.
Mike, going into the decision for Ebanks or Barnes, like who might start the first round, do you know that yet, or are you going to still think
Most
about
likely
it?
Ebanks.
Does that just allow Matt to stay in the bench role with these?
Yeah, to try to keep some familiarity with the team more than anything else, and some cohesiveness and all that other stuff.
Is there a Barnes update?
I'm sorry?
Barnes update?
No, he won't play tomorrow. If that's kind of what you're asking, yeah, he will not play tomorrow.
Ienga will play?
Yes, yeah, he will play.
What do you need to accomplish between now and Saturday? I mean, you don't know your opponent, you know?
No, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, we're prepared to play either one. So, knock on wood. Hopefully we'll stay healthy. Even with the guys that are playing, that are going to play, and then when we find out who our opponent is, obviously to start zeroing in more on them than anything else. And we'll get together Friday, probably late afternoon, evening, and talk some about our opponent, have a little dinner, and practice Saturday, and hopefully get after it Sunday.
Mike, as a guy, do you see differences?
Oh yeah, I see a huge difference from his time at the time we had at Indiana together until now.
What is it?
I mean, you can feel the maturity process. You can feel and see that he has grown through a lot of different things that he was dealing with back then, and he handles things a lot better.
He was chippier then?
I mean, if you want to call it that.